another thing that I frequently hear from buyers is that they want to work with a big box brand, or that they've been in touch with them, and I always redirect them to a smaller independent like you. And let's talk a little bit about why that's important. I know from a real estate perspective, being a realtor, sometimes the bigger brand names, banks, that kind of thing, it's really a challenge because they're working 9 to 5. They're not available to the client or myself on evenings or weekends, which are the 2 times that most people have available to go look at houses. And you and I both know that in this market, how many times have I called you? Like last minute, they decided this is the one. We just went and saw it. Can you write their pre-approval?
Yep.
And it's so important not just to have, you know, a kind of a, I don't know, like a general pre-approval. It really needs to be specific to the house. It makes them stand out in the process more. So that's one of the things. So tell me the reasons why you think that it's better to work with a smaller independent lender.
Yeah. So even just talking with agents, that, you know, that is something that I always hear is the availability. Also, the big bank lenders, typically the process is a little clunkier from what I hear, as far as like going through the hoops that need to be gone through to get through the process. Look, the mortgage process is stressful. You know, we try to make it as low stress as it can be, but you know, there's documents, there's timelines, there's things that need to be met. And sometimes it's hard, when it's hard to get a hold of someone, or it's taking forever to get, you know, any communication from anybody, you can't get a hold of anybody. That's one of the challenges with the big box. Also, just, you know, I've gotten estimates as a second opinion, or, you know, from seeing what someone has gotten from another bank. And a lot of times there are missing fees in there. There's missing home insurance. They're only collecting 6 months of taxes when they should be collecting 12 months of taxes. And typically what happens in those situations is the buyer gets to the end of the line, and then the bank says, okay, you need $2,000 or $3,000 more dollars, right? Yeah. And meanwhile, in the beginning, the bank, you know, pulls in that buyer because their cash to close looks lower potentially than what my cash to close looks like.
Right.
When typically, you know, my cash to close is about $1,000 to $2,000 lower on settlement day than what I'm showing them in the estimates, because I never want to call somebody and tell them you need more money. I always want to call them and tell them you need less money than what I told you.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a big piece of it. And I also feel with, you know, being a broker and independent, I have access to so many more products and so many more. I have the opportunity to call a lender and say, hey, do you have this product available? Okay, sign me up. Let me get that, right,
and that's
for my
the
client.
bigger piece, is that you have so much at your disposal. So that makes a huge difference. Whereas, you know, a bank might only have a couple of options within the bank that they can offer.